Hi, I'm Jane Ginsburg, President and CEO of Jewish Family Services. Welcome to our second annual Mensches and Mimosas, celebrating Northeastern New York's unsung heroes who give so generously of their time, passion, and dedication. We welcome you this morning to learn about our Mensches, Herm Ungerman and JFS. Your participation today is only one of many ways you've supported us this year. This year has not been what we think of as normal, but I am so proud of what we have accomplished this year together. Our new normal is going all in together to help make this community go round. Thanks for your steadfast support. I'm delighted to be here today with Dr. Benita Zahn, the well-respected news anchor for WNYT, who also serves as the station's healthcare reporter, covering issues including wellness, treatment breakthroughs, aging, nutrition, and the latest healthcare trends. Benita also produces and hosts HealthBeat, a digital health interview program that posts every Monday and Thursday on WNYT.com. There is no one more dedicated to the well-being of our community, and we are grateful for her role as MC of this year's celebration of the dedicated, passionate volunteers, Herm Ungerman and our Mensches.
Jane, thank you. I'm delighted to join you honoring these 24 remarkable volunteers. And you're right, the dedication of these heroes exemplifies the community spirit we all need. What they do is not only critical to the organizations they serve, but they inspire and teach others to ensure the work continues. What JFS has done during this difficult past year is impressive. The pandemic has highlighted critical gaps in human services, mental health support, food insecurity, and certainly support for seniors who feel isolated. JFS plays a critical role in this puzzle to help enhance our lives.
Thanks, Benita. The pandemic has certainly shined a light on these gaps, and we revamped our programs to meet the challenge. As you might know, last fall we moved our operations into the Golub Center, welcomed by Jewish Federation, which has strengthened our partnership even more. We'll have a chance to talk about and illustrate exciting activities at JFS, but now, let's toast to a successful event and hear from JFS board member Rabbi Moshe Bomzer for an invocation.
As we prepare this program, I bless each of the honorees. Each of you has deserved it through your organizations, and the umbrella of JFS is so powerfully and so important for all of us. While we are eating our breakfasts in our own homes and sitting and enjoying our Zoom presentation, it's important for us to realize that, in fact, we are united in one particular way, and that is we are all bonded together. So I'd like you to do me a favor, and for a single moment, lift your hands. And when you lift your hands, I want you to think as if you're receiving a special gift. Look inside of your hands. Look at all the work that your hands are able to do on a regular basis. I bless you with Se'u Yedechem Kodesh U'Baruchu Et Adonai. If we were sitting down to a meal, we would wash our hands before making the Birkat HaMotzi. I'm asking you to do the same. Se'u Yedechem Kodesh U'Baruchu Et Adonai. As King David told us, lift your hands. In this way, bless God. But God blesses us as well. He gives us the gift of appreciating the sacredness of all that we do, of being able to care for people, being able to restore people, be able to lift them up, be able to respond to their needs. And if we're able to do that, then everything and anything that we do, one day we'll be able to transform from the virtual to the real. I look forward to hugging, look forward to sharing, look forward to bringing together. Our home, our hands are gifts. May you be uplifted.
And now let's start the program. Our first award today is for someone very special. JFS is honoring Herm Ungerman with the Anshel Weiss Community Builders Award for his commitment to serving humanity with humility and for being a role model for future generations. I am grateful to Herm for his longtime commitment to JFS and our community, and I am so pleased to ask Benita to present Herm this award.
Well known and respected throughout our community, Herm is a native Albanian. He's presided over and served on many boards, receiving countless awards for his community service. And Herm's example instilled service in his children, Michelle and Susan, who work closely with JFS. Congratulations to Herm on this special honor.
I want to thank Benita, who has always been very special to me, and JFS for this award. JFS is the most credible organization that I've supported all of my adult life and would encourage others to do so. I would also like to recognize the 23 other people who are being honored today, which is such a credit to our community. Ask anyone who volunteers. They will tell you it's more for themselves than for anyone else. In growing up, our family was far from being financially set, but we're very rich in family and community. The one person who was the most influential in my life was my mother. My mom was a very religious, patriotic, and honest person. She always set a moral standard beyond reproach, and because of her, I know exactly who and what I am. I also know that whatever success I might have attained in life, someone was always looking over my back. We had a roof over our head, clothes on our back, food on the table. Not much more, but we didn't need more. In my house, we never knew who we would find at the kitchen table. If a person ever asked my mother for a handout, she didn't have any money to do it, but she invited them into our house for dinner. I remember my mom putting 25 or 50 cents in an envelope for me to take to Hebrew school so that we always paid our way to the best of our ability. I've always said that it's not how much time we have on earth, but whatever we do with it. Also, the only value of having more money than you need is the good you can do with it. My legacy is being carried on by my daughters, Susan and Michelle, wonderful daughters, wives, and homemakers. They have already made a name for themselves in the community. The training of sharing and caring, without a doubt, will continue. Give love, and love will be received. Give respect, and respect will be received. A lesson my 7 grandchildren have learned, and without a doubt, I have always felt that there was a need that I must take care of, as long as I'm aware of it. And it's easier to say yes than it is to say no. Married for almost 61 years, I know that nothing could or would have been done without my love, respect, support, and encouragement of my life's companion, my wife, Deb. My real success in life was having a very special person for a wife. Today, I would like to thank Audrey Hoffman, who has given me the love and a word that's tough not to say, companionship, to continue on with my life. I thank you once all again. I thank God, I thank my community, and I thank all of the things that have happened to me throughout my life. Thank you.
And now please welcome the President and CEO of the Jewish Federation of Northeastern New York, Rob Kovach.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be here to honor a Mensch who is not only a past president of Federation, but also my Uncle Mendel. Mazel Tov, Herm Ungerman, and Mazel Tov to all of this morning's Mensches. It's been a few months already, but I want to officially welcome JFS to your new home here in the Federation's Golub Center. Having you here has allowed us to collaborate in ways that we never could have imagined back when Jane and I first started discussing the idea. For example, our working together to make sure that all of our homebound seniors had food last year. Being here together during these times is what we were built for. I'm proud to open today's honors by introducing the Federation's 2021 Mensches, Rona and Louis Jack Posner, well-known leaders in our community for more than 50 years. The last time I introduced the Posners for a community honor, Rona said to me, you don't have to keep honoring us. We don't do it for the recognition. I replied, well, as soon as you stop doing what you do, we'll stop honoring you. I'm happy to say that they haven't stopped, so neither have we. Mazel Tov and thank you, Rona and Louis Jack.
We are so grateful to be recognized for work that we've enjoyed doing. In the 50 years that we've lived in Albany, we've found a wonderful community and we've worked as hard as we can to become a part of it. We hope that those who follow us will continue to live the Jewish principles which are so important to us and always have been.
Next, we recognize the life and legacy of Victor Friedman, the nominee from Congregation Gates of Heaven. Sadly, with Victor's passing this February, the community lost a friend, Brotherhood member, tech wizard, and all-around selfless and devoted volunteer. We're honored to present his family with this award to commemorate his lifetime of service to our community. May his memory be a blessing.
What inspired Victor to be a Mensch? I think Victor would answer this humbly, in one sentence. It's the right thing to do. That's the whole answer. He believed that if he saw a need of any kind, and he had the knowledge and the resources to meet that need, then it was his responsibility as a human to serve those in need by using his resources and talents. Victor's entire life was spent with people. He loved them all. Everyone in his eyes has value and deserves a little help now and then. That was the purpose of his life, to help anyone he could for as long as he could, so that they may live with freedom and dignity. As Victor often said, it's the right thing to do.
It's wonderful that his wife, April, could capture her husband's sentiment about volunteering. It's the right thing to do. A great message, and words that are echoed in the work of JFS as the organization waived fees for counseling during 2020. That was also the right thing to do.
In 2020, during the height of the pandemic, the Community Foundation and United Way of the Capital Region partnered to offer grants to local organizations. With their support and a generous contribution from CDPHP, JFS was able to answer the call when people needed parenting support, help with anxiety and isolation from COVID, and even help to secure vaccine appointments.
Now let's congratulate our Mensches from Congregation Beth Abraham Jacob, Temple Israel, and Schenectady JCC. Evie and Larry Farbstein were nominated by Congregation Beth Abraham Jacob for their dedication to improving the synagogue in so many ways for so very long, and for their lifelong commitment to helping their Jewish community.
Being a Mensch has become commonly understood to mean being a good person. Larry and I are one generation removed from our parents' European upbringings. To them, Yiddish speakers all, being a Mensch had a deeper meaning. It meant trying to do the right thing, acting with integrity, and stepping up whenever there was a need. Be a Mensch was drilled into us, and we continue to try. Our parents instilled in us the importance of giving back to our community, especially in trying times. We often take for granted the safety nets provided by our synagogues and organizations such as Jewish Family Services. This past year, more than ever, the importance of pulling together has been borne out. Helping out hasn't been just an abstraction, but real person-to-person outreach. This infrastructure is provided by our shul and JFS continue to rise to the needs of the moment and afford each of us an opportunity to be mentioned, each in his or her own way. Thank you, Congregation Beth Abraham Jacob, for this wonderful honor. We are so proud to be part of such a warm and welcoming congregation.
At Temple Israel, Nancy Bell wears many hats as a board member, chairing a committee, or just offering a helping hand. Her personal values guide and inspire her to always get the job done.
Asking the question of what inspires me to be a mensch is very, very hard to answer. It's a difficult question. It's the values of my parents. It's the values of my Judaism. Whenever I was little, I was always told to place others before myself. Always say something kind about someone else, and to dedicate myself to the welfare of other human beings. I hope that my life and my volunteerism have exemplified those values.
Nominated by the Schenectady JCC, the reach of Gordon Zuckerman's work can be seen throughout the entire capital region, where he's dedicated his energy to promoting educational equity and helping to create a more unified community.
As a past president of the Jewish Federation Northeastern New York, I've always felt that the more we can get organizations to work together, the more we're able to put the unity in community. And so I'm very pleased to be part of the 20 organizations that in fact is putting the unity in community.
Gordon nailed it. Unity in community. That's what this event is about and what JFS does. Commitment and collaboration to serve our community. And now let's celebrate more honorees. The Shalom Food Pantry nominated Judy Kahn, a dear friend, for her kindness and dedication to meeting the needs of the pantry and its clients, particularly through her countless hours spent delivering groceries and meals to those in need.
What inspires me to be a mensch? Well, our son Josh and generations to come. For them, I want a more supportive society where everyone has a chance for a dignified life. And every recipient of the Shalom Food Pantry inspires me. They teach me that we're more alike than different, and that small personal acts and human connection can have profound effect. My parents, Leah and Abe Gaze, of blessed memory, inspire me and taught me service by example. Thank you, JFS and the Shalom Food Pantry. You address the very real problem of food insecurity in our own backyard. And you restore some sense of dignity as we meet a most basic human need without judgment, shame, or blame. Thank you, Chani and Rabbi Simon and Shana Kadan, for giving me the opportunity to make a difference. And I couldn't make a difference without the support of my family, Bill and Josh Kahn. Thank you.
During such isolating times, Jessica Yankelin, nominated by her friends at Bethlehem Chabad, has been instrumental in keeping seniors connected to each other and the world by selflessly giving her time, performing essential services, and checking in on high-risk people.
My mother reminded me recently of a quote by Rabbi Hillel. "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am for myself alone, what am I?" I think that this describes my desire to help in a really good way. We should all be concerned about ourselves and our own well-being, but only being focused on ourselves and never giving our time to our community and helping others who will help them if they need it. And I just feel like it's important to help others and be for others and not just for myself.
Billy Golderman, another dear friend, is a mainstay of the Albany JCC. For years, he's provided his time, skills, and resources towards strengthening the Albany Jewish community, whether for his dedication to securing funding for the J or through his vocal support for Jewish teens and seniors.
When I think about getting the award from the JCC, it really touches my heart because the JCC has been such an important part of my life. It was my second home. I met a lot of my friends and relationships that I have both in my personal life and professional life from the JCC. It's a place where community is so important, and what makes me being more privileged to accept this award from JFS is what JFS does for our community. We live here in the capital region, and we have a wonderful community, and what JFS is doing, bringing all these organizations together, is outstanding. So I am privileged, I am honored, and I thank you for the honor of receiving this award. And I want to congratulate everyone else who's received it as well. Thank you.
Last spring, when the entire world shut down from the pandemic, JFS stepped up. Volunteers have delivered almost 13,000 meals. JFS recognized our community's food insecurity, responding quickly to preparation and home deliveries of kosher meals, groceries, and essentials by a corps of volunteers. This continues to be made possible through partnerships with Jewish Federation, Price Chopper, Albany County Department for the Aging, and the Shalom Food Pantry.
JFS is truly blessed to have so many heroes, including the impressive number of sponsors underwriting the programs and services. And Jane, I understand the event committee is standing by to toast the Mensches.
It has been such a pleasure getting to know our Mensches.
And we have such a wonderful community.
Mazel tov!
I'm Joy Davidoff, JFS board member and chair of this year's Mensches and Mimosas. I actually served on the JFS board years ago. Jane asked me to return as she was developing plans to revitalize the organization. Even in those early days of her tenure, I could see Jane's imprint. I'm delighted to chair the event with a stellar committee that never lost sight of today's goal, to honor Herm and these Mensches. They represent a remarkable community that came together at a time when there were so many gaps in human services. JFS mounted its efforts, responding to food insecurity, enriching its counseling program, and taking care of our older adults. Joining with JFS, the community fought the sudden crisis of a pandemic. Next year, we fight the shattered remnants of this tragedy. We are so fortunate to live in a community that gives of its time and resources. It is an incredible testament to both our organization and to each of you. We should be very proud. And now we'll hear from three Mensches, beginning with my dear friend, Eileen Sykes.
At UAlbany Hillel and throughout the Capital Region, Eileen Sykes is described as a powerhouse. Oh yeah, leading the organization through challenging times and times of growth while continually advocating for the needs of the Jewish community on campus and beyond. Eileen has also served as president of Federation and Congregation Beth Emeth, along with her involvement in passionate advocacy for so many organizations.
I've been involved in the JCC, Congregation Beth Emeth, Federation, and then about 10 or 12 years ago, my good friend Karen Hausler said to me, how about getting involved in Hillel on the campus? So I started, and just about that time, shortly thereafter, we hired Rabbi Nomi Manon, who has been our executive director ever since, and through thick and thin, Nomi and I, since my presidency started, we're not quite sure, but over a decade ago, through thick and thin, through good times and tough times, and Nomi and I have slugged along, and today Nomi can be incredibly excited about having the strongest and most important Hillel that UAlbany has ever had. And I am so thrilled that I have been involved in the organization for so long and can see it in this wonderful, important place.
Stephen Caruso is honored for his work at Maimonides Hebrew Day School. He's recognized as an outstanding, beloved, dedicated, and passionate volunteer for his work helping both teachers and students alike.
I am a volunteer here at Maimonides Hebrew Day School. I work in the office, helping Mrs. Rubin, who is the principal of the school. Whatever she needs me to do, I am right there to help her, answering the phones or cleaning up the school. And then when they're outside, I go and help out and recess. I help Mrs. Hoffman's class with their reading and sight words, and they read their stories to me. And after that, they get the chance to play bingo with me. And I also help out on Tuesdays with Mrs. Matthijs, is first graders who read to me one by one, and I'll tell you, they've improved so much, and I help them with their words if needed, and each one of those students are so special to me. And Mrs. Rubin says, do I ever get tired or need a day off? I said, not really, because I look forward to coming here every single day.
Over at the Hebrew Academy of the Capital District, Life and Legacy team member Gail Kendall is recognized for her hard work and humility, going beyond her official volunteer duties and treating members of the school as if they were her own family, as Gail does and has done for so many other community organizations.
My love affair with Hebrew Academy began when Rick and I were looking at kindergartens for Sophie. As we walked down the hall at 54 Sand Creek Road, we heard the sweet, happy voices of little children in morning prayer. Nothing that we had seen or heard at other schools, both public and private, moved us the way those joyous voices did on that day. The Hebrew Academy family became our family for 16 years, as all three kids went from kindergarten to graduation. The values that they learned at HACD helped to form the Mensches that they are today. Volunteering for Hebrew Academy over the years is my way to pay back the riches that our family received and to pay it forward to the families that have made Hebrew Academy their home since my kids graduated.
Thank you, JFS. Thank you, volunteers. Gail Kendall. You are the best.
Jane, clearly the breadth of the JFS programs is immense.
JFS clinicians have provided one-on-one counseling and socialization groups to students at the Hebrew Academy and Maimonides in order to build self-esteem and positive peer relationships, as well as problem-solving skills. Now more than ever, students need social, emotional, and academic support, whether they are learning in the classroom or at home. This is the JFS model for expanding counseling and support for kids and parents throughout the region.
JFS is honored to have nominated their very own Arthur Klein for longtime volunteering for Project 5, JFS's transportation service, providing safe, reliable, private rides to our seniors.
I love offering the elderly their rides. They appreciate it. They look forward to my coming. And a lot of them are friends now, and which is a good thing. It's my way of giving back to the community. When I retired years ago, I said, I got to find something to do.
Project 5 is the JFS transportation program that takes Jewish seniors where they want to go. Through volunteer and paid drivers, seniors can maintain their independence, getting rides to doctor's appointments and essential healthcare visits, and in non-pandemic times to errands and social outings.
So much changed because of the pandemic. Instead of driving seniors to the grocery store, you shifted to bringing them groceries. JFS is helping older adults stay independent and engaged, getting the resources they need, and promoting their well-being. Bruce Ginsburg has led the Daughters of Sarah Jewish Foundation for the last 3 years, where his positive approach earned him a reputation as one of the most caring leaders the Daughters of Sarah community for seniors has ever seen.
I would like to thank Mark Koblenz and the Daughters of Sarah for nominating me
as this year's recipient of the Mensches and Mimosas Award. In addition to the Jewish Family Services of Northeastern New York, this is truly an honor. I would also like to congratulate the other recipients from the various Jewish organizations throughout the community, as it is an honor to be selected with such wonderful company. I also want to thank my wife Carolyn and my children Emily and Evan. My volunteer work at Daughters has been a passion of love and caring, as it plays such a vital role in our community with all its programs and services provided for the elderly. There's a natural synergy with Jewish Family Services, as they too do wonderful things for the community, with its various programs and services being offered not only for the elderly, but all of those who may be in need of a various program or service. So in closing, I would like to remind everyone in this challenging time that we are all Mensches in our own way, helping support the community throughout the region. Thank you.
JFS offers expansive services for the aging population and their families, including help with long-term care decisions through the Senior Resource Network, occupational therapy to continue vital life skills, the Holocaust Survivor Assistance Program, and the newly expanded chaplaincy program. So many of these programs are made possible through the generosity of our community and lasting legacies of philanthropy, like that of Ted Strauss, who endowed funds to support aging or bereavement-related needs.
JFS has a long history of providing the highest quality programs available to seniors. How wonderful to hear that Mr. Strauss's philanthropy allows you to do more. The next few Mensches continue the excellent examples of commitment in our community. Teresa Lowenthal of Temple Sinai of Saratoga Springs is described by her colleagues as part of the foundation on which the temple stands, having contributed as a board member, program coordinator, and enthusiastic community participant.
Originally, my inspiration was an effort to become a part of the Jewish community wherever my husband and I lived as we moved around. But once my children started in Hebrew school, it was an effort to help them understand the concept of tikkun olam. I believe that we teach by example, and it was important to me that they learn the concept of helping others. By that time, volunteering had become such an important part of my life, I never thought about it. I just did it. And I continue to do it because I enjoy it.
For years, B'nai Shalom Reform Congregation has been touched by the influence of Ben and Becky Marvin, who've collectively served in countless roles, covering everything from communications chair to photographer to advocates for justice and equality.
As a small congregation, B'nai Shalom takes an almost hands-on approach to the way it operates, where every congregant really has a stake in making sure that B'nai Shalom not just succeeds, but thrives. Becky and I have thrown ourselves wholeheartedly into that to not only make sure that B'nai Shalom succeeds for us, but that it thrives for future generations as well.
We believe in community, our small community of B'nai Shalom and our larger community. And we work to make sure that everybody has what they need and the kind of support that they need so that we live in a very strong and a very vibrant one.
At Congregation Agudat Achim in Schenectady, Christine Parisi, a current administrator and member of the Hesed Committee, is always going above and beyond to ensure the synagogue's needs are met and sharing in the joy that comes with being a mensch.
When our rabbi, Rafi Spitzer, and our president, Jackie Rowan, told me that I was being given this honor, I was humbled and I was brought to tears. I wouldn't have been able to be a good friend or a trusted colleague without the guidance and the support from all of my CAA family. I share this honor with all of you. A list of names far too long to mention here. However, when I'm able to return to New York and we can all be together again, I will personally thank each and every one of you. Until then, I ask you to be a mensch for my son Andrew and pray for his speedy recovery. Thank you again for this wonderful honor.
Flo Miller of Beth Shalom in Clifton Park acts as spiritual backbone for the congregation through helping to organize high holiday and Sabbath services, or by gracing everyone with her beautiful singing voice and Torah reading.
As rabbi of Congregation Beth Shalom of Clifton Park, it is my great honor to join together with you this day as we share our love and kavod, our respect for Flo Miller, the esteemed and beloved Beth Shalom Educational Director, who is also our Master Torah and Haftorah reader, who has trained generations, who today serve as Torah and Haftorah readers and teachers, not only in the Capital District, but indeed throughout the Jewish world. For she is truly deserving of the title, Susanna Mensch, to be, in fact, a remarkable woman. She is a mensch to the highest degree. Shalom uvracha.
Watching these Mensches and hearing what they do really drives home the importance of giving back and volunteering in our community. It's what today is all about.
It sure is. When we say that our Mensches are volunteers who selflessly give of their time and passion, we can't say it enough how important these actions are. Lately, we've heard people talking about pandemic fatigue, but even more real for people is compassion fatigue, the concept that people are tired of being on for others. This is a very real challenge for volunteers and staff.
Yes, Jane, it's something we all have to be concerned about, that as we return to our pre-COVID lives, we forget how many people are still struggling. But that's what's so impressive about today's honorees, along with JFS volunteers and staff and the donors supporting this event. They're dedicated to the core needs of their organizations and deserve our ongoing thanks. The operation of Congregation Beth Emeth's Soup Kitchen, along with many other projects, wouldn't be possible without the countless hours of volunteering provided by Joseph Bierman, whose friends and colleagues describe him as the consummate mensch.
I had worked at the Soup Kitchen on an occasional Sunday when I was younger. When I retired in 2010, Ron Miller asked me to help him out. Ron Miller was a true mensch who had been managing the Soup Kitchen for about 15 years. After working with Ron for about 6 months, Ron decided to step aside and I took over his management duties. I was happy to do so. The Soup Kitchen was a very worthwhile endeavor, giving back to the community and helping those who might be food insecure. I should also mention it was fun working with my friend Tom Spagnoletti, who was another mensch who should be recognized. Tom helped me for many, many years. So for many reasons, I was happy to work with the Soup Kitchen, and it was certainly a worthwhile endeavor. Thank you.
Helene Ainspan has been a dedicated and the longest-serving volunteer for Congregation Ohav Shalom since 1959, working on committees, boards at the library, the main office, or in the sanctuary. Helene is always there as a helpful and friendly face.
I married into the Ainspan family, and I married into the Ohav Shalom family. I've been a member for 61 years, and been in the choir, did bingo, sisterhood, junior congregation. Of course, my main heart is set in the library. And I remember cataloging books, putting them on shelving, donated by the Tabashnik family from the Bilo warehouse in Dan Chick's office when he was principal of the Hebrew school. And so 2 years ago, the renovated library was dedicated, and it is now the Cantor Dan Chick Memorial Library. Obviously, I've not spent a lot of time there lately, but I'm grateful to still be a member of Ohav Shalom, and thank you for the honor.
Colony Chabad is honored to recognize Marty Weigler for his dedication to the community and his commitment to spreading joy, warmth, and Jewish values in all that he does, especially through his love of music and humor.
What inspires me to be a mensch can be summed up in a two-word punchline. And that two-word punchline is other Mensches. I enjoy most of all working behind the scenes, bringing joy to people's faces through music. So I say, pass it forward, follow examples of all the Mensches in the world in the way you know best. Thank you for everything you've done for me at the Colony Chabad.
What an honor it is to highlight the people in our community who volunteer. Their work is part of the Jewish tradition of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and Gemilut Chasadim, acts of love and kindness. These concepts underpin everything JFS does. Our new mission statement reflects this idea: to enrich lives by providing compassionate, collaborative, and innovative human services guided by Jewish values.
Jane, I know funding for these services comes from individual donors like the folks watching today. And if somebody would like to make a donation, I'm assuming they can go to your brand new website, jfsneny.org.
Absolutely. And yes, I'm excited to have everyone check us out at jfsneny.org. And with special thanks to Monica Tan, our Director of Marketing, who has worked tirelessly on improving our website and, of course, on this event. I'm also grateful to our flexible and hard-working board for being the backbone of JFS. Here's to them.
And we'd like to raise a glass to the Mensches, to Herm, and to our volunteers. L'chaim.
Benita, as we close our second annual Mensches and Mimosas event, thank you for volunteering your time to pay tribute to our honorable Mensches, Herm Ungerman, and support JFS. You are an inspiration, a role model for our community, and a Mensch.
It's been my pleasure and my honor. I've loved learning what our fellow community members are doing, what inspires them to be the Mensches they are, and celebrating them.
L'chaim. Here's to seeing you next year.